a day. What a day. Um, just one of those things, man. I know it's late. I got so many things on my mind. Um, Thank everybody for joining in to the Law Talk Radio and LT Studios. Those who out there who subscribe to the channel, thank you guys too as well. I think although we didn't play this weekend, I think we came away with a moral victory. Although we played Thursday and we won, the moral aspect is that the Seattle Seahawks lost, right? And it just shows that it pushes us to the top of the castle as it relates to hold on, give me a few seconds, guys. See what's going on with this feed. But yeah, so many things, like I say, that's on my mind as it relates to the Cowboys. With the Seattle Seahawks lost, and yeah, there goes somebody. Thank you for joining in. Shout out to Cowboy and shout out to Movies FN. How far will we go? It's not the yellow brick road, but we can go as far as Jason Garrett can take them, and or Dak Prescott, or we can go as far as Dez Bryant can go. We can go as far as this defense can allow a stop. Those are things that is always puzzling my mind. Our defense. I've been preaching. I've been the biggest cheerleader for Marty to come in. I've been the biggest fan for him to come in and have a veteran leadership, so I can at least go to sleep good at night. Because it goes to show you, if we face let's say for instance, what I don't want to happen, because teams can get hot, and it just depends on what type of ref you have too that's going to call the game. Those things can happen. So if you have the Atlanta Falcons of the world, so if you meet them in the playoff, will they be hot? They're a dome team. Who will stop Julio? I know we got a good offense and we can play keep away, but sometimes the rooster gonna come home to roost, So you still can't have the mentality like I'm 1,000% behind my defense, So Church got to get healthy. We got to figure out what Morris Claiborne is going to be able to do. Who else? Who else need to? I really think that that if we face a team like the Saints, will they be able to put up a lot of points? And believe it or not, I want to see what Buccaneers are going to do. Although their record doesn't show their skill sets, but they're being a team that can strike the iron and get hot. So we still got a long way to go, and everybody knows rookie wall is a process too as well. It could be a chance where what happened when Dak started to hit the rookie wall. I don't think that it's going to happen. No, not any day from here, but that could be a possibility. The Giants, yeah. Shout out to Christian for reminding me that, and shout out to Jason for joining in too as well. You just never know. The Giants can just strike fire and get hot, and Odell Beckham, I can visualize that. They got a good defense. They the next balanced team. The only weakness that I can see that's on the Giants aspect is they don't have a running back. They don't have no running game. But last year, we was playing the Giants real tough, and they had some guy who I don't even know, had some type of African name. I can't remember who his name is, but he was just running. I mean, I think at one play he ran over number 76. So it's who can strike the iron hottest in late December and carry that momentum over to January. So those are things that always puzzle in my mind as it relates to the Cowboys and what we can do as far as its defense. If we just had like one other playmaker on the defensive side, and one can argue we don't have really no playmaker on the defensive side outside of Sean Lee, but he's fickle. And aspect. We just don't know whether or not is he going to stay healthy or um or what would Church get? What would Church bring to the team? Will he be the Church before he was injured, or would he be the Church that whiff on a few plays? So there's so many things that's out there that we really gonna have to focus on this second half of the season. And as far as the defense, I'm thinking that we can get everything going in the right direction, but it's just one of those things. This defense, man, this defense. I got a chance to watch the Chiefs game, Chiefs versus Denver. Defensive fast. I mean, if we had a few of those players who play on opposite sides or either sides of the Chiefs or hell the Denver, we will be in a better situation, a better avenue as far as the Cowboys. Let me see, Christian. What do you say? We do rely a lot on our offense to take care of the business. Yeah. So what you want to do is you can lean on your offense at times, but you don't want to rely on them each and every time. There have yet to be a Super Bowl champion that didn't have top 10 defense. Although we are statistically we are top 10, but come on, realistically, we just need help. And if we don't create pressure on the line, the better quarterbacks is going to put up 400 to 500 yards on us. Yards doesn't win the game. Points win the game. But and although we do have the bend but not break philosophy, there still could be a chance, for a team to creep up on us while we off on the let's say we get a bye for the playoff, right? And that's what happened in 2007. We had a bye. We lost that rhythm. I think we lost the last game, if I'm not mistaken, of that season. And then, all the crew went to the Cabo and stuff like that. And we just was rusty the first half. We picked up things in the second half, and it was just not enough, But playoff pitchers, I think we can make a deep good run. But we still need help on the defense. Let me see who else. Cowboy, we say we will sacrifice possible loss due to current position so we can have I don't know, my volume must be too high. We will sacrifice I don't know, man. Sacrifices, I don't like to hear that sacrificing word. But it's just things that we're gonna have to figure it out, Cowboy. The playoff picture in the NFC is not finalized. Saints, Buccaneers, Lions, Giants, all are contenders. Giants are the scariest to me. The Seahawks play differently away from home. They must be X'd out. I agree 1,000%. But out of those teams, who's the hungriest? And one can argue that the Lions are pretty much hungry. They got a veteran quarterback. They got a veteran receiver, meteor type of running back. But they're being coached up well. The coach Caldwell been in the situation, been down in the trenches, know how it feels to be losing a plethora of games, and know how it feels to be on a winning team. So I wouldn't sleep on the Lions. And I think their offense is something not to sneeze on. Excuse me. Although they didn't score a lot of points against the Vikings, but I would. And then you just never know. A team looking for revenge, a team that tasted blood in 2014, it was controversial loss from their eyes back. That they may be a team that we definitely don't want to meet in the playoff. Just being honest with you guys. Shout out to Patel. Thank you for joining in to the chat room. Al Gerandero. Do you think the Raiders will play the Cowboys in the Super Bowl? All right. The Raiders got a tough hill to climb. Although they're winning in the unconventional way. They're not beating teams like the Cowboys. I know this is a big draw, Raider Nation, Cowboy Nation. I feel it. I feel that. I can understand Raider fans out there who's in love or enamored or amused about the aspect of meeting the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. As I look at it at face value, I think I see two different teams. I looked at they struggled. I mean, they struggled against Carolina. I know that they had a pick six from Khalil Mack, and Khalil Mack stepped up into the game and got the last sack. But I don't see, and I know everybody want to hype up Derek Carr and say, hey, he's the next Dak Prescott. But these games that they're winning is a very unconventional way. They win about 1 or 2 points. The defense is everywhere. At times, they don't seem disciplined on the defensive side. At least our team seems disciplined. They are winning games like by the hair of their chin. And I just don't see a team like that beating the Patriots, beating, believe it or not, the Steelers or owning the Ravens per se. I just don't really see that. Now, I could be wrong. Raiders could be all nation, I don't know for sure, but that would be one hell of a Super Bowl, Raiders versus Cowboys. But I just don't see, them beating the Patriots, So if I was a betting man, if I was to go to Vegas right now, I'll put my money on Patriots, Cowboy. And of course, Cowboys win, right? All right, so what else we got in the chat box? This is Jason saying, what can they do about the D right now? Simple. It is so simple. Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones need to go and call Antonio Cromartie and give him a shot to see what he can do. I know that we stuck on the aspect of playing it safe and close to the vest, but we really need to take one more risk, and we can be that. We can be, like I say, this close. We can be this close to a world class championship type of esque team as it relates to the defense and their offense, and we're just so close for us to just say, hey, I have faith and trust in the players that I have on my team. When nobody, I'm telling you, nobody's getting turnovers, nobody's putting pressure on the quarterback, and you can only bet that gamble for so long before it comes back and hurt you. I just don't want them to be like week 16, week 17. Let's just bring in somebody now. Just bring somebody in right now so that they can be already gelled with the team. They can already know the playbook like the back of their hand, and when it gets time to playoff time, that they already have that unity with the team, that collective reasoning of what to do and play off each other that way. That's in my opinion. I'm not a GM or anything, but who am I? They're not gonna listen to me. All right, another question in the chat. Was it musical accents? I can't pronounce words today. But do you see similarities in this defense to the 1990 team or 91 outside of 1 and 2 starts? Obvious. Before the first 1990s run, there was not known until they got Haley. Also, do you see Irving being a potential star? Irving, he needs to gain about another 20 pounds or maybe 10. He's tall, he's rangy, he's great off the edges there, if you're talking about the same Irving that I'm talking about. As far as the similarities, they're striking resemblance, but I really think that Jimmy Johnson had these guys hungrier. They had some hogs. Of course, they didn't get the pressure until they got Charles Haley. But one year, they just really needed Ken Norton. They had Haley. Who else they had? I think they had this guy Russell Maryland. They had a lot of guys who were and they had good cornerbacks too as well. They had a lot of guys who fought to the ball, and I believe it or not, I think the 90-91 team, not one person was elected to go to the Pro Bowl, so I can see the similarities. But these orphans, they do fly to the ball, but they just can't get pressure, they fly they tackle very well, but he just can't get pressure to the opposition, and that can still come back to bite us. So the 1990s teams were getting pressure; they was getting to the quarterback at all costs. And then if you was to relate the 90s to the 2000, I really think that they're very similar, but teams ran the ball more. So now teams pass heavy. So I don't know if that gap of matching the two teams together will ever be similar, because the teams just pass all the time. The teams are more finesse nowadays than they were in the past. Let's move on down to Jason again. Let me see what you have. We need the front four to step up and need a D-Law second half. DeMarcus, what is this? DeMarcus Lawrence, D-Law. He's the type of player. He's like striking fire. He's only I want to say he's lukewarm, basically. That's how I can put it. Either some days he's hot, and some days he's warm. He's right in the middle. He started off pretty well, in my opinion, when he came back from the suspension. Then the guy just disappeared. And he does that from time to time. I really think that last year he played off the strength of Greg Hardy, and Crawford pushed to the inside, and before Crawford sprung his shoulder, I think D. Lawrence was doing a hell of a job. But I just think he's more. I think he needs one more year. I think he needs one more year to be elevated to a guy who can have consistent pressure. And that's just all I see from D-Law, number 90. Let's see, what we have here. Who do you care about, the Raiders and the AFC? And let me see, the thing moved on me. Who do you care about, the Raiders and the AFC? And they ain't going to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, the Raiders not going to the Super Bowl. Atlanta, New York, and the biggest challenges for the Cowboys. That's a good thing. Too difficult to be a gameplay. Whitehead, Beasley, Dees, Zeke, Dak, Williams, and Dunbar. Yeah, we do have a good game plan. Movies, FN. Good question. We do have those guys that's on the outside for our offense, but at the same time, those guys that we named, that you named there, they still have, like I say, Odell. They have Odell Beckham. The Giants have Odell Beckham. The number 87 kid. I'm too young to be forgetting these kids' names. Odell Beckham, the 87 kid, and I think Victor Cruz. He's been in and out, but those two quarterbacks, those two receivers there, they world class, man. And Odell Beckham demands the double team. He can be, and he play every position that's out there. Play in the slot, and then Sterling Shepard, he can jump into the inside. I think that we got our hands full with these guys. If Eli Manning finds a way to get some stable running game, then we in trouble. Orleans Darkwa, that's the guy I'm thinking of. It comes to me. Orleans Darkwa was the guy with the Giants that murdered us last year, and it just happened, that team is such a fickle team. They get hot at spurts, and I'm just waiting. I'm sitting back and I'm looking at December. I'm looking at it like, please, Eli, man, don't get hot, because their defense is great. They got hogs up front. They got these guys who can plug the hole, can stop the run, and make us pass happy, and they got a Janoris Jenkins that can get into the mind of Dez Bryant. Although he did a good job against number 24, the Redskins game, Norman. But you get number 20, or I think Jenkins were number 20 on the Giants. If you get him believing that he can stop Dez, then we in for a long night, And we gotta have Beasley to step it up. But What if Beasley have a bad night when we face them? But time will only tell on December the 11th. I think that's when we play them. But and that's just something that we really got to take a look at. We, like you say, Jason, we really need a pass rush. We need somebody that can just blitz and just get home, but nobody can just get home. It's the weirdest thing. Looking back at film, all the way since we left DeMarcus Wergo, we haven't had a pass rush. Man, it's so funny because pass rush should be our priority. I know that we had Randy Gregory, thought he was going to be able to do something. That kid, by him being the person that he is, and the Greg Hardy situation I've fallen through, that really set us back, believe it or not. And then by us taking a gamble at Jalen Smith, I think that's how you say his name. That's a project player, you know. What happened if he's not ready? I think he may be a case of like Bruce Carter, you know. Bruce Carter was fast in college, flew to the ball, was just top rated linebacker who got injured, and we took a risk at him. I think we picked him up in the second or third round, and ended up, by the time he got healthy, by the time we saw a glimpse of hope, the kid was ready to get his money, you know, so we had no choice but to let him go. So will that be the same song and dance with Jalen? I just don't know, man. It's just football is such a fickle sport. What else we have out there? I appreciate you guys for joining in and watching the channel as I rambled through. But what today happened all today is that the Seattle Seahawks lost, which is a plus. Before I just get into that aspect of it, do you guys prefer to have a bye week, or do you prefer to just play throughout, you know? Do you guys prefer to have a bye week, or do you prefer for us to just keep the momentum going? So if that was to happen, who are we going to lose to? You know, who is going to be the team with the bye week? You know, there's the other element to the table. Do we play better this year on the road, or do we play away from the home? You know, play throughout. You know, because I think, as they always say, defense travel, right? Keep playing. Yeah, you're right, Cowboy. That's the weirdest thing. The last taste in our mouth was when we had that bye week, man, and we was like, okay, we hosting this game, and then New York came up there and just punched us right in the mouth. Was never ready excuse me. We just lost the focus from then, you know. So there's so many things out there, guys, that now, Christian, you said you prefer the bye week. A wild card win gets us even hotter. Oh yeah, you prefer no bye week. Okay, I see it now. Need my glasses on. But yeah. And did we play the Eagles after the bye? Chaz Green, injury prone. Yeah. Dak is balling. I don't even think he knows, but he's a rookie. You know. It's crazy altogether collectively. 1 year we played, I think it was 09. 2009. We played it was 2009. We played the Eagles the last game of the season. Then we had to turn back around and play them again in the wild card. And then after that, we went up to Minnesota. And that game there, Romo was running for his life. It was just a slugfest, man, and we lost. And I can still, when I close my eyes, I say it all the time. I hear that loud horn. I hear that horn every time. So that's why I'm really ready for this Vikings game. I really want us to just, if we can dog beat the Vikings this weekend, it would be a pleasure for me, because every time I close my eyes, I can hear that sound of that horn blowing. And Romo on the field running for his life because Jared Allen put him down on his back. But we lost that game. We had momentum. We thought we had a team that can just shake things off and get another win in the playoff. And I'm so happy that Romo got a playoff victory and stuff like that. And that was his first playoff win, believe it or not. But Jared Allen and some other kid was just ramming us to the ground. And we had the poorest offensive line, and then the next few years we say, okay, we're gonna get it back there next year. Then we went 8-8 again. So it's just crazy altogether collectively. Shout out to Bob. Thank you for joining in to the chat room. And John Cool. Bailey is the greatest of all time as a kicker. But this year, we were using Bailey less. And that's a plus, man, because we're getting into the red zone, green zone, and money zone and scoring those touchdowns. All right, so how are you able to put Cowboys games up on YouTube? Does the NFL not copyright you? The NFL is this Patel question there. The NFL and YouTube are partnering together to make the revenue cycle goes back to the NFL. So any content that you post of the NFL, it flags. The YouTube have an algorithm that they use, that they flag it and they send it up to maybe an IT guy or somebody, an analyst, and he monitor and observe your channel. So as it relates to copyright infringement and copyright laws, you have the right to repost copyrighted material as long as you're not using it for, money purposes and stuff like that. So I was able to dispute a lot of videos that goes on that I post on the channel due to the copyright notices. I would send them information in stating that this is for educational purposes, not for money or what have you. But just recently, I think in the last 3 or 4 weeks ago, since the scare of the NFL ratings and stuff like that, what happened is that they just started to block all the content that I threw up and that I put up basically, and it's just been a hassle trying to dispute this and just dispute that, and it just becomes that problem when you try to repost NFL, but lo and behold, Facebook doesn't have that algorithm or Facebook doesn't care. So I'm able to post full content, full flow of the game. It's just that the games that you guys see lately that I post to YouTube is edited in a way so that you guys can see. But NFL at any time can still pull those videos, and it just started to happen. But that's a good question, Patel. You have the right to post anything you want to, but you don't have the right to capture money. And I don't do this channel for money, believe it or not. All right, so let's look at how mad were you after the 2007 playoff game? This movie's FN. Who do you blame? How far could we gone that year compared to the team currently, Cowboys team this year? That 2007, I really think we could have went all the way. That team and this team is such a I think 2017 they had T.O., they had Patrick Creighton, they had the guy number 24, who Marion Barber, they had I think they had Bennett too much. No, they had Metellus Bennett. I don't think they had him, but they did have Jason Witten, so it was controlling the clock. They were running the ball. The defense was slightly better than what our defense is now. So I would say 2007 would have gave this team currently a run for their money. It just depended on if you're going to have good Romo or bad Romo. I'm not throwing any shade at Romo, but that's just how it is now. Their 2007 offensive line was tale of two halves. They had a better offensive line on the first wave of that year than the second wave. They just kind of got injured. And Gerard, everybody remember Gerard. He used to always fumble the snap and stuff like that. But they had some boys out there, man. But I wouldn't know. I would pay money to see that. But I think that 2007 would have been able to had a better showing. I think we'd have beat the Colts if we'd have made it to the Super Bowl that year, just like the Saints. But the Saints were rolling. The Saints would have gave us a run for our money. But the Saints didn't have no defense, though. So that could have been. Saints had no defense, but they're getting takeaways. They were scoring a lot of points. But who knows, if they would have faced us, it would have been a good hell of a matchup. Ain't nobody stopping Deacon Dez. So let me see what Jason said. Jason Watt. Nobody stopping Deke. Said Deke. Zeke and Dick. Man, I'm everywhere. Dak and Zeke. He's getting better and better. The D is the only thing that I'm worried about. Yes, I lamented that earlier that the defense is the only thing that we are worried about for this Cowboys team. Let me see what else we have. Patel again, the Dallas Cowboys show. Shango has the same problem. He also had a big boys fan like you live stream himself with the reaction on the YouTube. Yeah, Shango, Shango, the guy, been doing this thing for a long time. I think he got great content, very knowledgeable of the game, in the NFL and the YouTube new policies are paying into you know what. So I think that they're hurting themselves because people come here for different, unique content, and I believe the people that come to this channel is looking for something different than what the NFL.com is showing, or what DallasCowboys.com is showing, or ESPN. And it's what's from a fan's perspective. If I had $1 million, if I had some money, I would post a channel where you can just freely post whatever the heck you want to post. But I mean, everybody want their hand in the pie. Not only if you post a video of a clip, the broadcaster got to get paid, the person who shot the camera angle got to get paid, and also the NFL got to get paid. So when you see a copyright claim, you see a lot of inquiries, claims showing that they want their money for that video, or they want you to pull the video and stuff down. If you don't, you get hit with a copyright strike. So it's just crazy. Yeah, Super Bowl bound, man. JB the rapper landed down on the track. Super Bowl bound. Yeah, we are. Shout out to B Me and shout out to JB the rapper. Check out his page. I think he raps. Christian said, did we have a better defense in 2014 season? No, we didn't. I don't think our 2014 season defense is better than what we displayed now. Sean Lee is there, and Sean Lee is the world. And if you take away Sean Lee's game this year, we in a whole different stratosphere. We in a whole different element. We are in a dogfight every game because Sean Lee is not getting the interceptions or the turnovers that I wish he's able to do. But what he's doing is he's averaging 10, 11, 12 tackles a game, flying to the ball and hitting people for yards for loss, putting people in the right position. And last year we saw with our eyes when he checked out of games because of injury. I think the Saints game, teams were able to get down there and score. The Seattle Seahawks game, team was able to get down and score when he checked out of play. So I think Sean Lee is just the low key, the unsung hero of the MVP of the defensive side. And before Sean Lee, one could argue Claiborne and Church was just playing at a higher level than they were in 2014. All right, so let's see who else in the room there. Went too fast there. I think that Justifer or Justin or Just. Do you think Church is gonna come back? How he left before he got hurt, or do you think it would take a while? By being his arm, I think and I pray and I hope that our rehabilitation staff or whatever the staff that it handles with injuries with I forgot this guy's name, it's the tip of my tongue. But I really think by being his arm that he still should be game ready. I think he should be still running, being on a treadmill. And I think Church is playing hungry. And I think he wanted to taste his victory just as much. His Lombardi trophies that I have hosted in the background, I think he wanted to taste the victory too as well. So I hope that he be the same Church that that he was before we left, and we have a good church services this Thursday. I want everybody to attend, right? NFL is losing the WAP because of they
micro transitionings to much just make more platforms for broadcast. Yeah, you're right. Be me. The NFL is losing so much with the transitioning. I think Twitter of the worlds, and this channel right here, like the YouTubes and Facebook and social media. There's a way though, It's not like when I post a video that they can't recoup money. I think if the NFL was to contact me and say, "Hey, LT, you can post these videos, but we just want to be able to take a piece of the pie or take all of the pie," and the people that click on the videos, they can get remunerations from there. I don't think why they not doing that. It's just silly because they can make tons of money. I don't know if that would saturate the market, but won't they won't they just post a game on their channel or something like that? So I wouldn't even have to even recap or repost the video, and we can just imagine. But they got the NFL Game Pass, so they trying to get money off of that, which is relatively not a expensive package. It's about $99 to maybe $130, something like that. But it's just crazy. Be me, like your channel, like your Jabu report. Hey, keep the mojo going. I like that dude channel, man. Mark Holmes, he got great content. And been on the money as far as when he called the shots on the game and what to expect each and every week. I think he does a hell of a good job out there. My boy Joshua, what you got up there? What I would do, I have a Houston from KC, Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know. I don't understand that one. Corey Thomas, shout out to the Thomas connection. How bad is Durant hamstring? Hamstrings is soft tissue issues, so they can linger. Normally they last 4 to 5 weeks, believe it or not. So the young guys got to step up into the gap. I really think that Durant not going to be a major factor this week, unfortunately. Oh, transitioning. I see what you're saying, Joshua. I feel what you're saying. All right, Kyle, what you got? We really need to get some type of pass rush in order to hide or deplete a secondary. Yeah, that's been the same song and dance on for the last since we let go Ware, and even Ware at the time was just hobbled, man. They didn't have no guy that they put on the opposite side of Ware. We tried our hand in Spencer, Anthony Spencer. He was garbage. He stayed injured, and by the time he got healthy, we shipped him off. Our biggest hope, man, I believe it or not, our biggest hope, our biggest promise, man, that I didn't see in a long time was Hardy, Greg Hardy. It's just that he was a loose cannon. His brains were everywhere. Just not focused, and coaching staff didn't know how to handle that type of guy with that type of. If Hardy played in the 90s, he would have been okay. Greg Hardy would have been okay because he's no different than the other players out there that's in the 90s. Now, I'm not trying to give this guy a pass or a golden ticket to beat up on women or allegedly beat up on women, what have you. But Hardy would have just made this team so much better from the aspect of they would have had to respect the defensive line, and the quarterback wouldn't have forever in a day to pass the ball. And just last year we wasn't winning, and we had that little mantra of man, Jerry Jones taking gambles on players who shouldn't be in the league and stuff like that, and the social media pressure is like, hey, when you bring politics into it, man, you see what happened. Look at the 49ers, with the taking the knee and the national anthem and all that stuff. It just rubbed people the wrong way. And when you're playing on a football team, you need unity more so than anything. And you just don't get that when you have a player that's such a divisive player. And the guy, believe it or not, could be innocent, man. Believe it, at the end of the day, Greg Hardy could be innocent, but we would never know, and that's just a sad problem of it all, and that's just how it is, man. When public opinion rules the league, and the league is so crazy because even with the marijuana with Randy Gregory aspect, and in the first take, I heard them debating the fact that Stephen A. Smith was saying that if they legalize weed, right, players will show up high, and which is such a taboo thing. Uh, Alcohol is legalized, and players don't show up drunk. So how can you debate that? If if somebody do something on their recreational time, on their spare time, they like to smoke, get high, they like to do drugs, let them do it as long as they come in and they bring their work hat on and they come to play. Now if you can't play and then you smoking and getting drunk and getting high, then it will show on the field. But it's just football. They should never touch that topic. I think the NFL should have just been like, hey, if a player, is not able to perform, he can't play, but they want to get into the aspect of being political correct and all this stuff. So it's such a slippery slope when you got one rule for this and one rule for that. All right, let me see what's in the else in the talk track. All right, Real Love Music. Shout out to you for joining in. Dallas AG. Shout out for you to jump into the chat room. Trade whatever it takes to get Myles Garrett. My God, if we had Myles Garrett. If Myles Garrett dropped to us, boy. Spencer was good against the run, but he stayed injured, Signed Clowney on the offseason. Clowney is a better 4-3 player, but Clowney, this is his second contract, and we all know the kid is looking for some bread. And I don't think that he's worth the bread that he may be looking for at this time. I think that we probably have to slow build this defense, and the only way you can slow build it is figuring out a way to package something up. I don't want to say trade Tony for that. I don't think a team is going to take a risk for that. I really don't think that we should take that gamble. I don't think we should play with that too as well, because Dak Prescott is a snap away, for that happening. But let me see. Real Love Music. Shout out to you again. Question: do you think Rolando McClain is finished, or do you think they're gonna give him one more chance? I think Rolando McClain don't like football. He don't love football. He don't like money, and he's the example of somebody with all of this talent and skill, and have the right build and all that good stuff. Just throw it away. Just don't like money. Just ignorant for that. I really don't think that he's gonna be one of those players that you can get back on straight. The guy ballooned up. He fell in love with the lean, and I heard that once you're on that lean, it's too hard to get off of it. It's too hard to get off that lean. Kyle, let me see what you got. I agree. I believe in unity. The reason the team is better in 2007 and then 2014. That is the one element. Kyle, you are 1,000,000 or 1,000% correct. When you have unity, and I'm gonna just talk on unity. It's my very, very good talking point right here. When you have unity and you have 53 man, and you got the coaching staff, and you got everybody, even it down all the way down to the practice squad, thinking on one chord, thinking on one heartbeat, and that's hard to shake a loose. And the 2007 deal, we know that T.O. was T.O. He was a biggest mean guy that you can think of, and like he said, he loved me some me. He was one of those guys who was in the face of of Tony, and Tony was just now winning over the team, and his leadership. Tony is not an A type of personality. He doesn't have the validity that Dak Prescott brought in. He wasn't as as mature as Dak Prescott is now. Tony was a guy that was undrafted, and he had this Pro Bowler wide receiver. He had this All American tight end at the time, Jason Witten. I think he was on the verge of becoming All American, and he had other players around him that Tony was just still shocked and all. Hell, he wasn't even dating anybody at the time when he got over to the team, and the media was kind of say Tony's this charming guy, and we should hook him up with this girl. I think he even dated Britney Spears by chance. I could be wrong, but this guy was just a bachelor out here with a team, the America's team, the most visible team of all time, and they coming off a botched snap, and they playing out of their mind. The following year, and the unity aspect was always had that big question mark on his face, question mark on the brand, a question mark about his skill set. So he had to prove a lot of people wrong, but he was this kid doing this stuff, and the unity aspect was just kind of frail. And when he would throw interceptions or make a bad play, people will go back to 2006, the Seattle game, bobble snap. And it just was just too much on a guy that's undrafted, in my opinion. And we saw a little unity when they got rid of T.O., and we was shocked and all about it, of course. And I think Greg Ellis was on our team at that time, who was the leader of the team, and he was just average as best, but or he was just right above average, believe it or not. But his knock was we drafted him opposed to Randy Moss. So he had always living up to that aspect of it. I know I'm long-winded on the story of unity, but what happened is when you take Greg Ellis off the team, you lose a lot of experience, okay? And then you remove 2007 or 2008, we got rid of T.O. That moved a lot of, it was a whole bunch of mess with that. And him, Tony Romo, drawing plays in the dirt, allegedly what T.O. was saying. And then you move all the way back into, it didn't take until 2000, and I believe 2013, until Tony Romo became a man. Tony Romo began to be more mature in the aspect of taking over the team and saying, because if you read all the articles, they said, who is the leader of the Cowboys? That was the whole argument, going forward to 2013, and then Tony Romo made the turn, of playing through injuries, playing through punctured lungs, playing through a dislocated back and stuff like that, and was hitting on all cylinders and beat, I think, Washington the last game of the season, something like that, and then what 2014 hit this guy. This was our year, and we know how that ended. But 2014 was like, hey, we got a team of people that rallied together. Sean Lee was down. No one expected this year to happen or that year to happen, and it grew that bond of unity. And then 2015, bam, it happened all over again. The cycle of getting rid of not McFadden, but getting rid of DeMarco Murray, and the team would just crumble. Tony Romo was gone. It was back to the same cycle of not having a leader, not having a unity. And bam, 2016 is here, and you got this guy who was drafted in the 4th round, who put Mississippi State on his back, put the state of Mississippi on the map. And this guy was just bringing in a whole bunch of unity and bringing in, commitment. Had people, hey, you drop this pass, hey, you can catch next time or get out of bounds. He held people to the right standards, and that's what Dak Prescott is doing. I know I'm pretty long, but that's what unity is like. It's like tying a knot in a rope, and you're pulling against it, and all it does is get tighter. And that's what this team is doing. All right, so what do you guys got in the chat room now? All right. I see Antonio M. shout out for you for joining in. I see us winning 6 Super Bowls. Do you? If we win 6 Super Bowls, are you saying 6 Super Bowls in a row, or are you saying this our 6th Super Bowl? Okay, you saying our 6th. Okay. I see us winning those the sixth Super Bowl in the foreseeable future. I hope so. I hope it can be this year. But the only thing, like I said, scares us is our defense. And next year we can flip this defensive thing all around. We can win Super Bowls with an S, but it just all relies on our defense. How we can get this defense going, or how we can stop somebody. And and we got history showing that we can win a Super Bowl without a top tier defense. But we gotta have takeaways. The 2009 Saints did it. I think it was 2006 or 2007 Colts did it. I think those two teams were the last two teams that won a Super Bowl that didn't have a world class defense, and I really think that it can be possible if we can just find a playmaker, somebody who can snatch the ball out of the sky when it comes their way, or somebody can pose a threat. And hopefully maybe Brown can turn into that guy in the second half of this season. Still got a long way to go. Shout out to you, B Me, for telling me it was Jessica Simpson and Kelly Clarkson. Those were Tony Romo choices. My God, Tony. Let me see who else down here. Do you think Romo will ever get a snap this year? That's a good question. I really think Romo can. Let's say we clinch the division. The only reason why we have not clinched because these teams, the Giants keep on winning, But mathematically, we already clinched and got the bye week. Then why not throw Romo out there? But the conundrum of that is that now you're taking the snaps away from a rookie. A rookie still learning each and every game. There are, believe it or not, there are still things that Dak Prescott have yet to see. So, it's like the only way Romo would see the field of play in the event of injury, unfortunately. Our secondary is getting healthy. It is at the right time. See more. Mike, I really think our secondary allegedly getting healthy at the right time because believe it or not, when you injure like you are, and I'm not being pessimistic, I'm not being negative or anything, but when you're injured, I'm just being truth with it. I don't see Scandrick being Scandrick right now. Scandrick seems off to me. I really think that he's still injured. I think he's at 75 or maybe 80%. He whiffs on a lot of tackles. And that's what I don't want to see when Morris Claiborne get back, and I don't want to see that with Church. And church services this Thursday, we will see what type of church is going to be out there. Is it going to be a good church or a bad church? Are we going to be singing, dancing, praising, or are we going to be just sitting down and saying, "Oh Lord, it's going to be a long night," But we really, 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 really need some playmakers at the end of the day, and we just don't have that. I was looking at number 22 from the Chiefs. I think his name is Marcus Peterson or something like that. That guy's a baller. He's a playmaker, but he's a gambler too. But I think that that we need somebody that can get multiple interceptions on our team, and we have yet to have anybody on the secondary or even in the defensive side. So yeah, so that's all I could come up with for today, Night owl. Yeah, be me, man. I really can't sleep sometimes at night. I'm up all weird hours of the night. I put the kid to sleep and kiss my wife, and I jump on the computer. I normally would do this earlier, but I've been losing a lot of time and sleep and stuff like that. So why not? I need to be taking my tail to bed. I gotta wake up early in the morning. But really, that's been my time, guys. I really thank you all for joining in to the chat room. It's been a pleasure talking about Cowboys and rumbling and stumbling over things. Um, Thank you, Christian, for shooting a shout out to the Cowboys Nation too, as well, for jumping in on the chat line and telling me go Cowboys. Look for the game. Yeah, random. Is it Josh? Shout out to you too as well. Go follow his channel. Go follow everybody's channel in the chat room, basically. The recording of the game, since it's gonna be a late Thursday game, I might not have it not on. I'm gonna have it on Facebook first. Hopefully, I can have it on Facebook. Hopefully, I can have it on Friday morning before you guys wake up. If not, I might give and take. You know, where I'm watching the game, whether or not I'm gonna be at my office or over here at the house. I might Periscope the game. My Periscope. If you guys are not already following me on Periscope, go to the inbox in the description box on one of my videos, and there's a link to my Periscope where you can watch the game if I decided to screen the game from my phone. But shout out to Reed too as well for joining in late. Yeah, so like I say, it's been a hell of a weekend. Seattle Seahawks did us a favor, well, by losing, and I'm really hoping, believe it or not, I'm hoping for the Patriots to lose, and I'm ready for the Raiders to lose, because I'm tired of them saying that, well, you know, maybe the Cowboys not number one. I know they're gonna hear it in the morning. I can't wait for the national media to start chapping away and saying, well, the Raiders are really number one and stuff like that. Can't wait to hear who they're gonna put over the Cowboys this week. But let me get on out of here, man. Rosario, let me see. I'm going to ask you a question before I leave. Then, when you look back at 2007, Romo had no mature. Well, I'm sorry, I can't even read. Let me pull this thing up. Let me see what we got. When you look back at 2007, Romo was not mature enough to handle the success of the boys. We're having and was falling into a trap that the Parcells warned him about. Not let being boys QB go to his head, and he did it. Did we? Yeah. I really think you're right, Rosario. I think we pulled the trigger too quick. I think Jerry should have paid whatever money he needed to pay and let Bill Parcells buy whatever groceries he needed to buy in 2007. I really think to this day, if Bill Parcells were the coach for 2007, we would be working on our 7th Super Bowl by now, or 8th Super Bowl, because I think Wade Wilson was too fluffy, Camp Cupcake. You're right, and Romo, he gave this. What I need to do. Maybe tomorrow when I wake up, I'm gonna pull the 10 commandments that Bill Parcells gave Tony Romo. He told Tony Romo not to be a celebrity quarterback. He told Tony Romo to stay in shape. He told Tony Romo not to read his own press clippings. It seems like Tony Romo did everything that Bill Parcells told him not to do. And believe it or not, Tony Romo was still kind of quasi-great throughout that time, and one of the better quarterbacks that the Cowboys seen in a long time. But if he was to follow Parcells' path, then we'll be looking at a whole different team. We'll be talking from a whole different angle today. But you guys are still coming back with some good stuff. And yeah, you're right, Rosario. Romo just was not mature. ESPN is tanking because of their BS sports politics. No doubt they will be all over the Raiders jocks in the morning. You sure right, man. That man. Oh, but I can't wait to hear Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. Smith and yeah, you're right. But that's my time, guys. I thank you guys for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. May God bless until I see you guys again. How about them Cowboys? I'm out.